Hi guys, welcome back to Spelling and Word Study. My name is Mrs. Rhoades and I'm here to get you started on Unit 19, Long U Patterns. Please take a second to gather your materials. You will need your orange book, open to page 119. You'll also need some colorful pens, markers, or crayons. Remember, whatever I mark on my board, you should be marking on your page. Please save room for a key as well. All right, we have spent several weeks now learning about long vowels. We know there are 5 long vowel sounds and they say A, E, I, O, or U. Today we are moving on to our final long vowel, which is long U. And like I said, long U says U, but sometimes it says OO. Now, we are going to discover 7 different ways to make a long U sound this week. Notice all of our words this week are one syllable, so we don't have any open syllables to think about. We do have some silent E's this week, but they're not being used to make the vowel say its name. Instead, we have a variety of different vowel teams working together to make that OO or U sound. So let's start by reading our list. Please repeat after me. Bruise, choose, cruel, cruise, fuel, group, juice, loose, lose, move, prove, root, soup, through, truth. Did you hear all those oohs and yous? Beautiful. All right, so let's choose a color. The first pattern we're going to talk about is the UI in bruise. UI is a vowel team that makes the OO sound in words like suit and juice and bruise. We see it again here with cruise. Here it is in the word juice. And that's it. Okay, so orange box equals UI, which is making a long U sound. Okay, next we're going to choose a second color and we're going to draw a box around the OO in choose. This might be the first long U vowel team you learned in words like food or soon or to, like I like pizza too. So OO says OO in choose and in loose. Okay, guess that's it. So over here, blue box equals OO, which also makes a long U sound. All right, let's choose another color. Now I want you to notice the UE in cruel. This is not a common vowel team, but you've seen it before in words like due, like my homework is due tomorrow, or a word like sue. We see it in cruel, and we see it in fuel. By the way, notice here when it comes after CR, it makes an OO sound, cruel, and when it comes after an F, it makes a U sound, fuel. All right, so over here, brown box equals UE, which also makes a long U sound. All right, choose another color. And now we have the OU in group. OU is such a confusing pattern. Sometimes it says ow, sometimes it says ooh, sometimes it says oh. You just have to memorize the words. So that's how you spell group. You use OU to make the OO sound, just like you would with soup, right here. OU makes the OO sound, or root right here. Notice this is the kind of root like a highway. We took root 5 or root 10, okay? Not the kind of roots that trees have. All right, over here, purple box equals OU, which also makes a long U sound. All right, how are we doing? We still have 3 to go. Right here, we have the silent E and O combination. For some reason, O-consonant-E can make an OO sound. Not always. In the word come or the word love, the O makes a short U sound, right? In a word like cone, it makes a long O sound. But in words like lose and move and prove, we have O consonant E making that long U sound. There are not a lot of words that follow this pattern, so really, you just have to memorize it. Okay, then we have OUGH in through. Now, last week we had OUGH in words like though or although. So we know that OUGH can say O, it can say ooh, it can say ah, it can say ow. This is by far our wackiest combination. You just need to memorize this pattern and know that OUGH, when it shows up after THR, is going to be pronounced ooh. It's going to take a long U sound. All right, last but not least, we have the word truth. Just a U by itself making that ooh sound. Why doesn't it say truth? I don't know. Why doesn't it have an O in there or O-O? I don't know. This is one you need to memorize. If you can spell truth, you can spell truthful and truthfully, and then you're good. So in this case, U by itself makes a long U sound. Okay, so every one of our words this week has some combination of letters or a single letter making the OO sound. But I want you to notice a lot of our words this week end with a silent E. Well, what is that silent E doing? In the word bruise, we don't need an E there. We already have UI making the vowel long. So that E is not being a bossy E. My guess is that it's there to prevent confusion. I feel like we talked about this a few weeks ago, right? In our language, if a word ends with S, we usually assume it's a plural. Cats, dogs, dinners, right? So sometimes we put an E after the S just to let people know it's not a plural, okay? Something totally different. So perhaps that's why we have the silent E in bruise and choose and cruise. Also in loose and lose, right? It's just telling us, nope, we're ending with an S sound, but we're not a plural. So that's one job of the silent E. In the word juice, that silent E is definitely there to soften the C, because without it, it would say juke. So it's softening the C. Here, it's probably babysitting the V. because we know that even though words in our language can end with a V sound, they never ever end with the V by itself. That's why words like give and have and live have a babysitter E at the end. Why is it here at the end of root? I don't know. Maybe just to make it look different than route. I don't know. But the important thing is that we notice that many of our words this week have a silent E. And that silent E is doing something other than making the vowel say its name. Okay, I want to briefly talk about the meanings of our words this week. And I also want you to be on the lookout for homophones, because when you get to page 122, you are going to have a bunch of sentences and you're going to have to pick the right homophone. So for instance, should I use this kind of choose, like I choose my clothes before I go to bed, or I choose my lunch when I get to school? Do we want that kind of choose, or do we want this kind of choose, like my brother chews with his mouth open? Choose and choose are homophones. All right, so bruise, I think you know what that is, right? If you bang your arm and you get that like black and blue mark, that is a bruise, right? That's actually blood pooling under the skin. To choose means to pick. Cruel is an adjective. It means very mean, right? So if I sat here and ate a hot fudge sundae in front of you and didn't offer you anything, some people might say that's cruel. Of course, there are many things that are even crueler than that. A cruise could be like a vacation on a ship. So you can take a Disney cruise, you can take a tropical cruise to different islands, right? Cruise can also be a verb, like you can cruise down the street in your new sports car, right? So when you cruise or you go cruising, you're just driving around slowly, having a good time. Fuel is whatever you put in your car or your body to make it run. So your car runs on gasoline, that would be your car's fuel. Your body runs on apples and sandwiches and cereal and milk. That would be your fuel. That's the stuff that your body burns in order to make energy. Your car burns gasoline. Your body burns food. A group is a bunch of people together. Juice, I think you know, right? Squeezed from a piece of fruit, orange juice, apple juice. Now, loose and lose. A lot of people get tricked up on this spelling. If something's loose, it's about to fall off, like a loose button, right? Maybe your pants have a loose button. If you lose something, you can't find it. So I remember it this way. In this word, here, let's start with this. Here I have 2 loose buttons. Here, I've already lost a button. 2 loose buttons. Uh-oh, I lost a button. Where did I lose it, right? Where did I lose it? It can also mean not only like, so to lose something could be to misplace it, but it can also be to like lose a game, right? So the opposite of win. To move, you can move your arms and legs. You can move to another state. You can move to a house. If you're playing a board game, you can move your piece around the board. If you prove something, you show that it's true. So you show that something is true, right? I did all my homework. Look, I can prove it. It's right here. It's all done. A route would be the like the path that you take to get from here to there. You follow a certain route. Soup is something you eat. Through could mean like you go through the door or you go through a difficult situation. And then the truth is the opposite of lies, right? So when you tell the truth, you tell what really happened. All right, good luck this week. You're really going to need to use those eyes to memorize the OUGH patterns, since there are 7 different patterns this week. So really be careful with that. All right, good luck, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.